Hey, Tim Hughes here. I'm the CEO and co-founder of DLA Ignite. With me today, I've got Andrea, and we're going to be talking about social audio. What is it? Why you should be doing it? Why you need to investigate it? Or why, if you're doing it, why you need to do more of it? So, Andrea, tell us where we can get hold of you.
Well, thank you so much for having me,
You're
Tim.
welcome.
Where you can get me is absolutely on LinkedIn. That's my playground from Monday to Thursday, every morning, 8 a.m. CET, no fail. And then, of course, on my website, that's andreacristancho.com, just as my name.
Excellent. So, social audio. I remember playing with it. Clubhouse. Was that 2 years ago?
Yes.
Um, and we decided when we were doing Clubhouse that we actually were going to come back to LinkedIn, and then of course LinkedIn created their own social audio platform. So why should we get into social audio?
Yes. I love this question for two reasons. Social audio is not new, but I feel not a lot of people, mainly in the coaching field, are leveraging the benefits of growing their network and their business using social audio. So let's start by, my definition of social
Mhm.
audio. The voice for me on any social media is a handshake. Is the closest we can get to the real human behind that beautiful picture that we all tend to post on our profile. So 2 years ago, I was introduced to social audio in the form of a summit, a micro audio summit. I then, very soon, when I started understanding, oh, wow, this is a great way to leverage the growth of my email list, I looked around and said, okay, who else is doing this? And yes, Clubhouse was there. However, I freaked out on Clubhouse. I did not utilize this. I did not jump on that bandwagon. And then I moved on to LinkedIn. LinkedIn became my playground. And for the last year, I said, you know what, Fear? Let me face you, face front. And I decided to start hosting regular LinkedIn audio shows. And that is the best investment of my time when it comes to having fun and running my business on social media.
Because one of the things about I love this medium, and the fact that what we've got is a great way of actually transmitting live to people. But the thing is that, as you say, because there's video, there's distraction.
Yes. Yes, exactly. And there's distraction, and as well, you can really bring by a sense of, this is my home office, this is me. However, when we are in audio only, it's just one sense, and your voice really transmits that energy and allows for your imagination to really tell the rest of the story as you wish. And the best part of it is you can pair it with doing something else. You can be walking, you can be doing chores, you can be just, sitting there while listening into that conversation that is taking place. And if you choose to partake, it's an easy unmute.
Yes. So we've got a comment here, which is totally agree. That's the difference between human touch and a bot conversation. Personally, I've not had a bot conversation, but I grew up listening to the radio,
Yes.
and I'm old enough to have done that. And it was always, and even now when I listen to things like Radio 4, what you're doing is that you might be driving, but you're listening to what's going on. So the voice, as you say, is the anchor, isn't it?
Exactly. And, let's think about what are our most used forms of social audio these days, podcast. I'm going to say we because I love listening to podcasts, right? And you've got the private feed, but also the public feed. On public feed, it's like your new day radio. When you have a minute, you go scroll and you tune in into someone else's masterclass or candid conversation. And that is an invitation to get to know that person. Now, when you're invited into a private feed, you know that is, with a purpose, is highly curated, and you're there for the experience. But now let's translate this into an event, right? These days, online events are everywhere. Now, when we choose to invest our time, that's our currency. And then when we try to bring by the fun factor and in the knowledge component into that equation, yes, you can go video, but when you go audio, it's really telling people tune in. And even you can translate that into your reading your emails or reading your blog post on your website. Or what I like to do in my business, using audio snippets of conversation, apps like Voxer or, your simple WhatsApp does the point, right? It's really bringing your voice across. Now, there is one reason why I love this more than anything else. It's just speedy. It gives me, that transaction gives me that quick action into getting into my goal at the quickest and with my personal touch. Because let's face it, we can fake everything in the era of AI, but not my voice. That one's unique. And add to that your laughter, right? Your energy at that moment.
Yes. So two more comments. One is again that a radio is still alive and coming back. Yes, I'd agree with that. And one from Andrew. The great thing about these shows is the interaction, which you can never get with a podcast.
100%. I so agree with you, Andrew.
So so LinkedIn after LinkedIn launched their social audio probably 2 years ago.
Yes.
And it's now pretty. It was pretty buggy when it first came out, but it's now pretty solid. How do I start getting into that, and how do I start? If I wanted, if people watching this and said, okay, well, you convinced me I need to do social audio. What do I need to do?
Well, first of all, you need to understand that it's just one more feature within the LinkedIn space. Okay. So, because you choose to post and nothing happens on the other end of your post, don't let that discourage you. It's a long term, long end game commitment. And that's like that mindset we need to have. Now, when we choose to go onto the platform to create an event invitation, you need a graphic, an image that's going to act as your visual call to action onto the event. Then within the platform you choose, whether it's going to be live or audio, you're going to click audio. Then you write your title. I will always suggest go for a nice hook, because you're
Yeah.
still competing on the scroll for people's attention, and it's a span of 3 seconds, no more than that. And you're lucky if they give you your 3 seconds, right? And then you're going to write a paragraph that is that briefing on what you intend to be speaking about or with whom you're going to have that conversation, and what's that takeaway, what's in it for them, what want your people to live with. And then at the end, you're going to be able to get your time zone right, and that's it. You go into post and out it goes. The
Right.
beauty of this is that within the LinkedIn ecosystem, you're going to have the ability to send out up to 1,000 invitations for that one particular event without having to log onto any other platform, all within your own contact list. Isn't that fantastic?
It is. I use Canva to create the images,
Me
which is
too.
a fantastic free app. I mean, you can do what you need to do without necessarily paying any money. Well,
Yes.
certainly, I can do what I can do. Maybe mine are amateurish, but I do it for free. And I think this thing about being able to send out 1,000. So as a speaker and as a speaker in an event, let me get this right. You can send 1,000 in a week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yes.
if you were speakers on two things, you could still only do 1,000. But being able to
Yes.
send 1,000 invites to your
Yes.
particular event is massive.
It's massive. And, for most creators out there, their email list might not even make it to 1,000. So your following on social could really be 1,000. And then that means you can get in their, DMs, in their inbox within LinkedIn to say, hey, I'm hosting this. Come check it out. All there. But the beauty of it, Tim, that for me is that pre-setup is easy lift. And yes, I'm the founder of the No Hustle Club for a reason. That is my lifestyle. Everything that is easy lift for me, sign me up, I'm in. But during the event, you can host, as if we're doing this right now, but then people can engage with you in the comment section. And those comments stay within that post of your event. So you can really give the chance for people to carry on engaging in the conversation. And when that happens, the algorithm signals to the whole platform they're having a live conversation. If you want to partake, you're still able to join, even if you didn't RSVP. So it's very inclusive.
Yeah, I think the platform sent it out. Certainly the first time, certainly the first time you ever do it, it sends it out to all your connections.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm not sure but I know that I'm often if I'm on the mobile app and I'm scrolling, it will get Andrea is about to start a conversation or something like that.
Yes.
And I probably get one of those a day. But I've got
Yes.
a fairly big network, so
Yes, yes, yes. And every time someone from your network and your first degree connection goes live, you get a notification. I have spotted that one too. And then not only that, when they're live, they're there and you can join in and support if you feel like it. You can always leave a comment, or if you get curious to know what happened in that event after the fact, you can always go back because you're going to have that notification.
so why would I do this? Why would I set about and why would I do and put aside time in my life to actually do social audio? Come on, you're the no hustle club.
Yes. Well, why my 2 cents of it is branding, personal branding. If you really want your message to come across and you want, you're on a mission, in your business, aside from making money, you really recognize that the value of what you have to say could be beneficial for the masses. This vehicle is going to allow for that work to be done in an easy way. But also, after you host an audio event, you have the opportunity to bring the extension of the conversation in your DMs, because everyone who joins in, even if they are not part of your connection, if you've got access to the email credits, you can send them a DM. But if not, you can get a conversation request. You can click the different vehicles LinkedIn is giving you to start that conversation. And you know what? Before you started that event, you did not know that people, like they were not in your network. And now, because you dare to host that event, you allow them into your world within LinkedIn, a safe space to carry on the conversation with you. That, even if you do nurturing on your email marketing, doesn't happen that fast. It's not in a DM. It's not a quick, short message, snappy reaction.
So it's a way to create a conversation with a person, isn't it?
Yes. And for me, it's just not like the conversation, but the real you behind, because it has your voice component.
So I think it's still the case, isn't it, that with LinkedIn social audio, you can't record it, can you?
Correct. And that's one of the downsides. And I have tried to record while we're having the conversation on GarageBand. And I must say, the quality of the sound is not to my liking. So I've abandoned the idea. And I just say, look, this is exclusive. It's a safe space. It's a conversation for us in the room. So I really encourage people to, join the stage, raise their hand and join the stage, because it's an opportunity to have this on the spot answer to your question.
So I can use it to um, demonstrate my expertise. So we know that buyers are out there looking for experts in a particular field, and they're on social media doing that. So what I can do is I can build my personal brand so people could see that I'm the expert. What about in terms of using it to build like a blog or something like that?
Yes. Well, if you see it as a pyramid, you can use your social media, let's say LinkedIn audio event, or in a matter of fact, any social audio platform out there, to have like access to the masses. But then you can narrow it down onto your business. For example, my my coaching program is audio based within my private podcast feed. And I do asynchronous coaching with my clients with audio notes. So, once you get comfortable with the microphone and your voice, and you make peace with the fact that you sound the way you sound, this becomes a vehicle as you write, you speak, and it's a way you share your expertise with the world, whether it is for an invitation to event, or it's the blog that you're reading it to your audience instead of just letting them, read it for themselves, right? Or even to grow your business. If you're a coach in my space, then this is a beautiful way to get answers to your clients in, matter of minutes.
So another comment here. So great question, Tim, and brilliant answer, Andrea, of course. LinkedIn is still the most professional platform for meaningful networking, and I certainly agree with that, yes.
Me too. It's a great, fun platform. And this is what I would always advise. When we treat it as a professional platform, doesn't necessarily mean that we need to be a bore pill within the platform. On the contrary, the more I have fun with what I write, how I express myself, it's really me authentically, the way I am in the real world. And this has really improved not only my following has increased, but it has also improved my consistency staying on the platform, really showing up for the people that are there reading.
I saw a post. I think it was this week or last week that you'd grown your connections by, was it 2,000
In 1 year,
in
I
1 year?
have doubled my connections. I am, I think, 10 people away from 3,000, and I
Fantastic.
started in 1,200. So, yes. And it has all like the strategy has been like different posts throughout the week from Monday to Thursday. But then once I post, I stay in the platform to comment and like not only my own post, but those from that are in my close proximity, constantly reading, but then those that I follow as well. I dedicate time to send connection requests, answer, give push to other people's posts, and why not? This is what I like to call sharing your social currency. It's really when you go there and you post, it takes courage, and you really have to think on how do you want to put that out there? How do you want to sound? How's that's going to make you look? For sure, all of that is a criteria. But when we start thinking, oh my God, it has to be perfect. No, it does not. No one is perfect. Perfect is boring. Let that stress not accompany you when you're playing on the platform. On the contrary, the more fun you have, that vibe is really contagious and people will pick up. That's when they hit, hey, I like what she's saying. Click follow.
Yeah, and I think that I totally agree, and I think it's so important that I mean, you can go out and you can buy connections because you'll get a company that will basically connect. But I don't think that actually it doesn't have to, because what you're looking for is not connections. What you're looking for is a network,
Correct.
and you're looking for. So there's a number of things that happens on social. One is reciprocity, which is if I like one of your articles, you're probably going to come back and like one of mine.
Exactly.
And then ultimately that enables you to get into possibly enables you to get into a conversation. And I'm going to put this comment up. And another great use of voice audio is the right pronunciation of your name, so new connections can get that right. And I totally agree. It is, yes.
Yes, 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 yes. It's really that's an important one. And we have that feature at the top that you can enunciate your name, right? So even that piece of audio LinkedIn has helped
I
us
put
with.
some song in mine, actually. I must admit, if you go to mine, I can't remember what it is. It's some song or something.
Very well. But yeah, even that we can use. But indeed, for me, the using social audio has allowed me, or, that has been my permission slip to have fun using social media. I have tried on other platforms before and it was always a task. Now when using LinkedIn, I my go-to place. I look forward to hosting the daily conversations and being part of the daily conversations of what I like to call my LinkedIn friends. Because these are humans that I have got to know on the platform that are uniquely, authentically my friends, but we've never had coffee in the same room,
Yeah.
not yet at least. Yeah.
But that may come.
Yes.
Another comment, thank you. Agree, Andrea. I went from 175 to more than 800 plus meaningful connections and your own industry related news. Absolutely. I mean, sharing industry related news is everyone. One of the there's so much out there. If we can find someone that filters all that for us and says this is the thing that you need to know today, again, that's important.
Yes, 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 yes. And, for some folks out there thinking, okay, how do I get started? Because when I post, I only get a few likes and so on. I would always recommend, pick, uh, an expert, someone you want to learn from, so that you understand the easy way to build content, like following a content calendar that suits your lifestyle. It doesn't have to be someone else's recipe, but try to learn the recipe, then adapt it to you. And once you get comfortable, start playing with all the other features, because we're speaking social audio, but there are many more. Now, if you would come ask me, go for a social audio event. It's the most fun I've had in this year using the platform and this particular feature.
Andrea, thank you so much for coming on and talking about social audio, and thank you to all the audience as well and the comments. Where can people find you?
On my website, andreacristancho.com, and absolutely, let's be friends on LinkedIn. That is my happy place.
Let's all if we're not connected already, then let's connect on LinkedIn. I'll certainly going to look out for your next social audio event.
Thank you. Will that be 2024?
2024.
Yes.
Actually, you're also the last Tim Talk that I'm doing this year.
Happy holidays.
Yes, I'm closing down for a month in terms of these.
Yes, me too.
Thank you,
Friday it
Andrew.
is.
LinkedIn allows us to learn so much more, not just business, but social skills and life skills from the people in the audience would never get the chance to interact with. I totally agree, Andrew. Thank you so much. Andrew,
Yes.
again, thank you for tuning in. Andrea, thank you so much for today.